Whew. Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Mana-logue. Okay, usually on this show, I'll do a little monologue, get off in about 20, 30, 40 minutes sometimes. Sometimes my rant's pretty long, but tonight it's just me. And then I have to do a lot of Green Party stuff. I have to do a lot of work stuff. I have to do a lot of other stuff that's actually keeping me alive, a roof over my head, and kids fed, et cetera, et cetera. So things that take priority. Everybody here and all you all take priority, but I can't have what I have here unless I take care of the things that I need to take care of other than this. All right, so where do we start? Um, we are dealing, and I can't stress this, I'll stress it some more because some people kind of aren't getting it. And I'm not talking about guns. I'm not talking about, I kind of will, but I'm talking about the two-party oligarchy. All right, I'm talking about what we're dealing with and what's out there and what's happening to our country, just from my perspective. And more people and more U.S. citizens and the voting republic out there is starting to notice that, yes, there are some laws out there that are geared more towards the 1%, geared more towards uh, corporations and lobbying bodies, and that's the design that's been implemented since I think the Industrial Revolution came around. It's not a big surprise that the elite get everything and then some. I mean, ancient Egyptian times uh, and medieval times, there were classes of people where you would have people that were just immensely poor, like the paupers in English, or the slaves of Egypt, or Israel, or all over the place. There were a ton of countries that had their 1%. For example, the Bible, okay, was created by employees, which were somewhat slaves, written and created by the 1%. And a lot of people think, and I agree with it, was a way to control people. And it's still the greatest. A lady, this wonderful teacher at Orange Coast College in California, I had a marketing class. She goes, the greatest marketing campaign to this day that's ever ran, ever in the history of life. And this is the topic I'm kind of getting to, is the Bible and religion. And now there's over 2,000 religions. And there are a lot of people out there that are controlled by religions. They're not only controlled by religions, but they're controlled by publications. They're controlled by media sources. They're controlled by what they're reading, what they're viewing, what they're listening to. And it's all around us now. There's just no getting around, you know, there's no getting around these things. There's just no getting around it. We have a plethora of sources to gain information. As the Bible says, do not eat from the tree of knowledge. And I believe that, in a sense, kind of ironic now that we actually have the tree of knowledge, which is the internet. And you can find some wonderful things. And then you can find topics of flat earth people that are still talking about the flat fucking earth. Which, if anybody comes on here and wants to dispute flat earth, just don't come by here. It's just not even worth my time. It's not even worth my effort or my mental energy, which I have to use for other things like I said, taking care of my real life. This is my virtual life. But anyway, so what I'm getting to is, please understand how powerful marketing is, how it's been used in branding, in public relations, in logos, in billboards, in advertising, in coupons, and the list goes on and on and on. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Oh, well, hey guys. Listen, I didn't think anybody would show up. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just gonna have a monologue tonight, but I think Evan's still going. But welcome anyway. Thank you guys, Zoxbox. Thank you for coming in. You guys are fantastic. But let me explain how important this is. And I see the media, and I see Lee Camp and Jimmy Dore, and I see H.A. Goodman, and I see Sane Progressive and the Real Progressive, Steve Grombine, and I see Holly Seeliger and Jamal Thomas and Tim Black, and I see all these people in Secular Talk, Kyle Klinsky, and I see all these people out there, Susie Dawson and all these wonderful people getting all this information from sources that are trying to continually control the masses. No matter what happens out there, they're getting orders. I'm talking about the mainstream media. I'm even talking about sects or cells that split off from the mainstream media. And this happens in businesses. You'll have large companies that advertise and they'll go into social media. For example, there are advertising packages that you can buy where you can not only do direct mail, you can also have somebody go on to Facebook, maybe some Russian company with 13 people, who fucking knows, and get them to do some trolling in a sense for you, or some some fun talking or some positive talking about a particular company. It happens all the time. You'll see it on social media, you'll see it on Snapchat, you'll see it, you see on Facebook, Twitter, you see it all over the place. But it's geared, and these people are hired to place these ads, to place this information in these areas where you're looking, where your eyes are at, where your ears are at, where your senses are at. They put them on billboards. We got billboards out here off the 22. They're everywhere now in Southern California, but they're giant. I'd say they're easily 40 feet, 50 feet, 40, 50 feet by 15 feet tall billboards. And they're fucking monitors. They're monitors. They're actual monitors. And when you drive by them, you are just in awe because everything's so crisp. Everything's so. You can watch the fucking Super Bowl on this thing. It's gigantic. And I would love to watch a Super Bowl on this thing. Yes, I still love football. It's in my genes. I love the physicality of it. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, but that was also marketed to me. Everything you see, everything that you're given, and marketing is the prelude to a sale to the close. Okay, got to understand it. It's the prelude to the sale to the close, to closing you on what they want you to believe or think. So if you go into a dealership to buy a car, first thing is the micro greeting, first 2 or 3 seconds. If you kind of like the person, you're okay with letting him help you. After that, he starts to show you things. If he smells good, if he dresses okay, then you're okay with letting him help you. It's all your perception. It's all your perception. So he's guiding you around, and sooner or later, believe it or not, he's saying words like this. Show me. Let me show you this over here. Here, follow me over here. Hey, watch this. Hey, look at over this over here. So you begin to get. It's called a pattern of control, a pattern of control, what a salesperson will do to you. And next thing you know, they're leading you up into the office to pencil a deal. Okay? This is sales. And it fucking happens everywhere. So what I'm getting to, and I think you're starting to get this, is that we have a culture of marketing, a culture of selling, a culture of closing. Everything we do, we are the most per capita, the biggest shoppers on the planet. We buy more shit. I mean, I'm looking around this room right now, and there's a fucking ton of shit that I don't need. I don't fucking need it. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. What the fuck is that? I don't need a lot of shit in my room. As a matter of fact, I think I just need a bed, a monitor, computer, blanket. I don't like using pillows. I fixed that chair, by the way, back there. I'm supposed to send it to somebody, but I don't know. Anyway, other thing is this is where people miss what's happening. The human mind. Oh, this. Oh, garden. Okay, let me see. Let me get this garden. Hang on. Apply that logic to the oligarchy going after gun teams. Yeah, fuck. They don't have. They sell you on fear, and then you buy the gun. Okay. The human mind is designed to live in caves and paris, etc., not to deal with the con. Ugh. Okay. Sorry. Not to deal with the constant bombardment of abstractions that come through us through written text. Exactly, Garden. That comes through written text and imagery, etc. Yes, exactly. Yeah, prairies. I think I don't even know what that word means. ABC culture always be closing. Yep, exactly. ABC always be closing, bro. Always be closing. Very good. So we're in that. I mean, they sold us on fear, and a lot of people bought it in regards to 9/11. I think that was. I still don't buy 9/11. I know Snork says that some of those things could have happened, but there's so many other people that I've seen and listened to that it couldn't have happened. But that was the big sale too. You know, the other big sell was Vietnam. That was a huge sell as well. So, and we buy it lock, stock, and barrel. You know, shock and awe, fear, uh, triggering us to want to protect ourselves. And this isn't just about guns. This is about our freedoms too. That they're going to protect this, like the National Defense. I don't know the NDAA. I keep forgetting what the fuck that means. I'm going to type it in real quick. Don't give it to me. Don't give it to me. The National Defense Authorization Act. Yes, that strips you of everything. That screws everybody. It started off with Bush. It was planned a long time ago, but they're selling the word terrorist to us so that we buy into war, that we buy into, and they're closing us constantly. They're closing us constantly. And a lot of people out there, especially the people that watch this show, which I am very fortunate to have people actually live chatting right now. There's more than I thought there would be live chatting with me right now that understand what this is. Okay, you know what would be trippy if Monotov shared his screen to show my stream. I wonder if can I do that? Oh, anyway, that would be fucking cool. But anyways, not you guys are distracting me. That's okay. But the marketing aspect of the way and the sales aspect and the sale dynamic of this country is so profound. It's so amazing. And I know that there's people in other countries just go, these motherfuckers are bought every goddamn day. They're just bought. You know, they're bought and sold constantly all the time. Do you have to have a new car every 2 or 3 years? Well, my ex does. She's had a fucking new car. I've had the same truck for over 10 years. I am totally fine with my truck. Regular oil checks, tires. I do my own brakes. The truck works fine. It takes me to point A to point B. Yeah, of course I want a new. I'd like the new fucking giant shiny truck. I do have a shiny. You know, maybe more economical would be nice. You know, in the future, of course, the immediate future. But you don't have to buy a car, and it's the lease process. Come and get a lease, get the new car. It'll take care of you. I want people to have what they want. I want people to like what they want. I want people to be comfortable in what they want and what they need. There's a difference between what you need and what you want. What you want is created usually by somebody else. You see somebody else that has something and now you want it. What you need, you always need. And this is pretty bottom line, layman terms. That's just me. I try to keep it simple. I'm not a big word guy. But what we really need, and Garden Dome brought the best point, is we're just not created that way. I mean, I was watching a guy at lunch. I come home for lunch every once in a while. I live not too far from work, thankfully. And a guy who was talking about the hunter gatherers of the day, of 5, 10, some odd thousand years ago, before Christ, before those books were created by a man or men that actually wrote them, you know. So it was very simple life. There was a stream, there was a bow, there was an arrow, there was to hunt for food, there was or a spear, there were traps. Um, uh, then somebody made a better trap, and somebody wanted that trap, and that trap was better. And it builds up over time. So our culture kind of led into that way, but it was a very simple life, and we were nomadic a long time ago, more nomadic than we are now. Now that the farmer industry or industrial revolution has come, we've been more stable. We stay in one city. We don't move around that much, unless you're an entertainer or you're in the military or you're a salesman working all over the country. Anyway, my point is, and I think this is the important part, is we have to be careful on what we're sold on. We have to make sure that before we buy the car, that is it what we really need? Is it what we really want? Is it, I mean, is it going to do what we need, or do we already have what we need already? A lot of us don't. I understand. A lot of us do not have a lot of things, and I used to have it all, but things change, and divorces and stuff happen, and like that, things happen. But besides the clothes and them getting you to purchase what they're selling you, you need to understand that it's important to know if you really need that. And it could be information. It doesn't have to be something tangible. Do you see what I'm saying? Do I really need to know that the earth is flat? No, it's a waste of my fucking time. Do I really need to know poverty statistics? Yes, I want to know, because that's going to help how I vote. Do I really want to know, pick and choose what information? Do I really need to know what happened in the Bible of some guy that wrote it, 6,000 years ago, 2,000 years, whatever fucking long ago? Okay. Do I really need to know that? No. Do I need to know what's happening in some other religion? No, I don't. So where you get your information is key. That's why a lot of us get information from people that we believe that are checking the sources and links and the information that we're getting it from. But we can't be sold on fear all the time, guys. We can't. You know, I'll jump into guns, and then I'm going to jump out. Okay, as a divorcee, with me being around my children when they were small, and everybody, the human body is pretty frail anyway. I mean, we can't stand up to most animals that are an eighth of our size. But, and I always worried about them, and I always was concerned. But I never had a gun in my house. I had a gun at my grandparents' farm. I had a gun at my friend's house, or at somebody who had a locker, but I didn't want it around my kids. And then, but I felt safe because I'm a pretty good sized guy. I can take care of myself and maybe a few other people if they're not too MMA gifted. Then I can do fine if something really crazy happens. But I always worried about them constantly, and I wanted to be around them to protect them. But I wasn't good with the guns being in the house because kids, they are very, this like, when the cat's away, the mice will play. And there have been incidents of kids grabbing guns underneath pillows and up in dressers or up in closets and stuff like that, and they play with them and they shoot somebody or themselves. These kind of, very rare, but it happens. That was kind of a fear I had, but me and guns were just like, either it's for hunting or it was for just going out in the desert and shooting with some buddies, drinking beer, shooting Christmas ornaments across the road. I'll tell you that story someday. It's a pretty good one. But, and then when I was gone, after, separation, this happens to a lot of, California is big on divorces, people, big on divorces. And I'm sure a lot of men feel this way, and even women. You feel like you're not there to protect them. Like you're not like immediately there, because she became like a single mom until the other guy came around. Uh, and these kind of things happen. But, and I didn't know if that person was going to protect my kids as well. So it's hard to say. The point here is there are so many people out there that aren't immediately with their kids all the time. They could be at school. They could be at school. They could be at the park playing with some friends. They could be at the bus stop, waiting to get a ride home from the mall. Oh, Dad, I'm going to go to the mall with some friends, go hang out, whatever. We're going to go stare at our phones for a couple hours and we'll be home, which is pretty much the case. But you can't be there all the time. Meteors fall from the sky. Things happen. You have to kind of have a little faith, and it's hard to with all the nonsense and craziness and some of the people that just snap out there. It is so rough. It is so hard. And I still get that feeling, even though my boys, the 13 and the now 16-year-old, they're fucking monsters. I mean, I would pity the guy that messes with them that's adult. These guys are brutal. And I teach them shit all the time, but they don't listen to me. In any case, but when they were younger and they were kids, they were just, so susceptible and just, I feared for them constantly, but there's nothing you can do. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. You just have to believe in the system that's out there. The system that's out there. And right now, the system that's out there for us, that I believe, is not right. We are fucking ass backwards. And garden, this is good. My advice, this is garden. And my advice is for people to spend time in natural environments. Your brain understands them on a basic level and gets to relax. Oh yeah. So thank you for bringing that up. When I'm out at the beach, so good to have you on here, Garden, and Zakvan. Okay. We go to the beach. I would take them to the beach as many times as I could during the summer or when it's warm enough. If the water's warm enough, I don't care about the air or if it's raining. If the water is like 62 degrees, 63 degrees and higher, I'm going to the beach. I'm jumping in the ocean. I am freaking diving off the rocks. I am body surfing. I am boogie boarding. I'm trying to stand up on the board every once in a while. I am doing it. But sometimes I can't be there, even then when they were small. If you look on my Facebook page, you'll see a picture of these guys, my kids, playing in the water. And if you look in the background, you can pretty much tell those waves are 6 feet. Some of those were 8-foot face waves, and they're out there when other people are just fucking not ever going to jump out there at all. It's just a giant wave. If you've been in the ocean and you see a 8 to 10-foot high face of a wave coming towards you, you might pee your pants for some people. But my kids, I took them in the water a long time, but I can't be there to help them all the time. I can't. They have to learn on their own. People have to learn and survive on their own. So, in regards to the gun thing, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. And if you believe you really need the gun, and you think it's going to really do a lot of help, if it protects you up here, because it's kind of all up here, if it really helps you up here, then get a gun. But I don't think it helps me up there, and it doesn't help anywhere because I don't really want to shoot anybody. I mean, I've been shot at several times. I have fired BB guns at people and other things. Anyway, it's how they're selling it though. It's how they're selling all of this. And the reason why I'm kind of bringing this up is I'm seeing also a lot of posts on Facebook, on Twitter, of they're showing people that were in incidents a year ago, a couple of years ago. Like the same person was interviewed by a news reporter. The person looks identical. But it's almost like they're saying that they're actors and they're in just filling positions to say certain narratives or talking points or something like that, which I find very hard to believe. But if you look at the picture, you look at the person that they used at some other school shooting or some other situation in Vegas or whatever, and then they show the same person at this recent incident later on, you're just like, oh my god, that's just too close. It's just too darn close, and then your mind's boggles. So I don't know who's selling what or what they're selling to who, but well, actually, sorry, I do know what they're selling. I know who they're selling it to who, but as far as who they're using out there or staging, I don't know. If you guys want to get into that, that's kind of crazy. But I think what we need to do is is look at the big reality of what's really happening in our nation. And our nation is a culture of violence. We have football, probably the most violent. We have MMA. We have that's pretty fucking bad. We've been the top boxing. I mean, over the years and decades, we've had the most titles throughout the world. Muay Thai has grown tremendously. Taekwondo matches, they have grappling. I strongly recommend anybody take an MMA course to take grappling and jiu-jitsu, or at least or take Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's very good for you. But we're this culture in the United States is, we're the ones that make all the computer games that go bang bang, shoot them up. You know, we played Quake. We played Duke Nukem, if you guys remember that. We've played Castle Wolfenstein, if you guys remember that. There's a lot of, and it's just shooting. And I've been clicking and pointing and toggling spacecraft and firing a weapon in the virtual world and in the real world ever since I've been a child. Ever since I've been a child. But let's go back on what they had to do back during the Ice Age, when everybody was definitely nomadic, and they were just hovering and migrating along the edges of the movement of glaciers, and they were trying to find food in these very cold atmospheres. The weather was crazy cold, I bet, but the only thing that was running around was hot meat. Yes, we knew how to eat berries. Yes, we knew how to eat certain nuts. Yes, we did eat certain roots and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But when that wasn't around, you had to use your spear. You had to use your bow. You had to use your club. You had to hunt. And then hunting got easier by, creating gunpowder, shaft, and a bullet, and all that other shit, which was very important. A lot of people did that for years. My grandmother used to tell me how she used to, and there were people that I've done it and I've helped. Used to skin a chicken, pluck a chicken, feather a chicken, um, and instead of going to the store, you just have some chickens and that's your food. But things have changed dramatically now. It's a lot different. We're not really hunting for food anymore. We're not really. You can go to the store or a specialty store and buy certain types of meat if you want nowadays. So, hunting has become a sport. It's a sport. It's shown as a sport. It's like a leisure sport, kind of like golfing. If you guys should look this up. Brian Regan, hunting. Oh, wait, I'm not sure. Okay. Brian Regan, hunting and fishing. This is fucking hilarious. All right, I'm just gonna play it for you anyway. It's fucking fun. Wait.
How about Ray Romano, Paul?
See if I can get this on the hand.
Very touching.
Gracious, yes.
Lovely, very
Video
gracious.
mode.
But I just would like to reiterate now, a lot of people get shows. Not many of
Just
them
watch this.
are successful the way Ray's Everybody Loves
This is the
Raymond
new
show
Hunter.
was successful. And again, I can't state this
Or
strongly
David
enough.
Letterman.
It was
He's
because
awesome.
of Ray and that tremendous
I'm in on
cast
a half
and
hour.
the
I'll be off
production
pretty,
team that
pretty
put that
soon.
show together that made it the huge hit that it was. I had nothing.
Okay, Dave. I missed that guy. That guy was great. I mean, is it just me or was that guy great?
Our next guest, tremendously talented comedian who has appeared on this show over 25 times. On September 26th, he will be starring. Wow, this is a good gig. On September 26th, he will be starring in the first ever live special, Comedy Central from Radio City Music Hall.
Okay.
That's a pretty good room, ladies and gentlemen.
You guys
Please
got,
welcome
okay,
back
Dave.
one of our favorites.
Sorry, guys.
Brian Regan. Brian,
I'm unscripted. I don't prepare this shit. It just comes off the top of my head. Okay. But this guy is fucking funny. If I don't know if any of you know who he is. This is the modern Hunter. This is funny.
Thank you.
I should
All
turn it over.
right. This is that magic spot. It's an honor to be here. And thank you, Dave, and thank you, guys, and thank you.
Okay, been there 1,000 times. Kissing ass. There you go.
Well, I'm trying to learn how to multitask. So the other day, I went fishing for the first time at the same exact time as I went fishing for the last time. Checked them both off my list. Yeah, a friend asked me if I wanted to go fishing, you know, which is weird. You know, a guy would feel comfortable asking another guy to go fishing, but a guy would never feel comfortable asking another guy to do the same exact thing, but leave out the fishing part. Hey, Charlie, I was thinking this weekend I could swing by real early, pick you up, take you out to this lake I know about. It's beautiful out there. To watch the sun come up. The way that glistens off the lake in the early morn. Something I wouldn't want you to miss. And I figured we could just spend the day sitting real close together on a boat. You up to doing something like that with me? Can we try to kill something? Feels less weird if we're trying to kill something. Same thing with hunting. Imagine describing hunting, but just leaving out the hunting part of the explanation. Hey, Toby, good news. I found a tree fort out in the woods. I figured you and I could cozy up in that all night. Maybe wear some matching outfits. Whisper softly to each other. And if the situation's right, maybe we could put some makeup on each other's face. Thank you. Thanks. Well, we have the basketball playoffs and the hockey playoffs happening. I always love.
So that's kind of
best
awkward.
Of 7 series,
wouldn't that be?
Because then I get to hear my favorite sports reporter question. Would you consider this a must-win game?
Oh, I gotta turn that off. Shit.
They always feel like they have to say yes. Yeah, we want to win it. It's very important, you know.
Anyway. So I don't know about hunting. I didn't get all crazy into hunting. I wasn't doing all that. But I was going out there, you know, shooting and all that stuff. It's just, you know, this is funny because I showed my boys how to shoot a BB gun a few years back. And I told my sister, I keep the gun. They haven't shot a real gun yet, ever. But I showed them how to carry the gun around. I showed them how to, you know, keep it pointed down. You know, not at your foot. Just let it kind of drape over your arm. Make sure you get a good grip on it. You know, not on the trigger. You know, the only time your finger's on the trigger is when you know you're actually going to hit the target, whether it's a target or it's somebody. And we were just shooting some other things. But it's a pump rifle, man. This thing can put a hole through your head. It's my favorite BB gun. I had it forever. Used to take out squirrels and all kinds of rodents and lizards and crap. Yeah, I know. Anyway, so I'm just saying to you guys, and this is important, let's try not to be sold. Let's not try to be. I know we're not. I know we're a lot. We've actually built up a tolerance, some of us, but and I know there's fear out there for your loved ones, and I know there's fear of the government, and I know there's fear of your neighbor, and I know there's fear of this, that, and the other thing. But who's selling that? Who's selling the fear? Just like I'm saying, the dealerships, they throw that fucking Dodge. That was a fucking Chrysler. They're always doing good, and then all of a sudden they fuck up. MLK for a fucking Dodge truck? Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god! And I drive a Dodge truck. Now I'm embarrassed. But anyway, you have to make sure you know where whose guns cost money. Okay. You can make a Hawaiian sling. I'll tell you right now, a Hawaiian sling will kill anybody. You can make that. I can make that with a piece of wood, a bungee cord, um, an iron shaft or rod. Just grind it, make it pointy, and then just have a clicker on it. There's a certain way to do it, or a spear or something. There's weapons you can make that will do the job not as good, not as quick, and not as loud as a fucking go buy a sword. You know, I'm just saying. How am I saying this? Remember who's selling you on fear. It's always been the United States. This country has been selling fear to you forever. Forever. They've been doing it for a long time. It's, out of the 240 years we've been a nation, separated from the British, which was the reason why we made those stinking laws, according to Jesse Ventura. The Second Amendment to have your own militia and guns and stuff to keep you from tyranny or oppression, which makes sense. Back in the day, back when they had muskets, everybody had a musket, and it took you about 12 seconds it took like 15 seconds to load a musket. Oh, so Evan, so I fear the government, so I have a gun in order to defend against a corrupt government that has tanks, helicopters, missiles, etc. I'm the one that's scared. I call that the opposite of scared. What? You're afraid of the government, though. Evan, look now how outgunned you are against the police. A cop could probably come up with all his artillery. He wouldn't have a chance because I have friends that have access to bulletproof vests. If you want one of those, I have friends that can get those. I know where to get bulletproof vests, and they don't fit me. That's all I'm saying. They have to make special ones for big guys like me. But I know they'll fit you. They'll fit other people too. But yeah, so okay, so let's get to guns since just can't get away from that. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of them. I know that there's other ways that I'm going to do something, and when it comes time to where they're fucking us up so bad to where it's just unbearable, and I need to go be the spearhead to fucking charge the lawns of Congress with all of us united to take our country back? Didn't the fucking Tea Party just say that? You know, I think we need to have a little faith in some other people out there. And I am talking about a few Republicans. I am talking about a few Democrats as well. I definitely am talking about other parties like the Green Party, and some other parties that are out there that aren't afraid. They're not scared. They're, you know, somebody that wasn't scared. Harvey Milk, he wasn't scared. Okay. Martin Luther King, he wasn't scared. John F. Kennedy, he wasn't scared. Okay. There's a lot of people out there that aren't afraid. And I'm not saying you're scared or you're afraid or you're a testicle or whatever. I am just saying that they're selling the fear to you so you can buy the gun because they believe it. They've been selling that forever. The NRA has been creating this illusion, and let's get back to the marketing part. They actually have people to plug narratives and talking points. I'm telling you, this is real. To start these conversations, to put these memes up. Oh, you're not coming from my gun, fucking government motherfucker. And then they put these things up there. But in actuality, like I said, a brigade of Army or Navy or Marines, of a group of 100 with fully equipped, and these are $20,000 worth of gear that's on them. Okay, $20,000 with helmet, vests, bulletproof, everything. They've got gear. They've got grenades. They've got everything they fucking need to kill at least 100 people or more. Every soldier out there is geared to kill. At least they have over 100 rounds on them, and they're not going to. Not every bullet is going to hit that person, but they're able. That's how they're set, and that's just on the ground with goofy fucking right out of basic training troops. You know, our military is ginormous. We have to get people inside of Congress that get us, that won't sell the fear anymore. That's my point. We have to get to those people to stop that fucking economic war shit. The new economy war. We have to find those people. We have to promote those people. We have to help those people. And we have to get them to stop selling the fear, allowing the fear to control us. To control us. Fear of being, oppressed or our rights being taken away. Yes, this is happening. I'm not saying it's not. But we need to get people into these offices. And a lot of people that are in there now, a lot of Republicans and mostly Republicans, and even a lot of Democrats. Excuse me, the Democrats and the Republicans, the supposed leaders, judiciaries, and the legislators and executives that are in there. They're bought and sold, and they understand the marketing, selling, closing ABCs of fear. They've been using it against us for a long time to fear each other, to fight against each other, to fight against other countries, to fight against our neighbors. They've pinned us against each other for a long time, and we've been buying it for a long time. I've got some friends on Facebook that are Republicans. They're fucking funnier than shit, and I got some friends in my real life that are Republicans, and they're great friends of mine. And I'm not going to stop being their friends because of their political views. I can still drink beers, talk crap, talk about, cars and muscle cars and motorcycles and sports and shit and bitches and all kinds of stuff and drink beers all night long with these guys. It's the politics of politics that is sold to us that separates us. And I don't, and Rebel has said it many times. It's the labels aren't good. They aren't good because we're just human beings just trying to survive. We basically need more joy and less pain. That's fucking everyday. Our most core thing that we do is joy and pain, sunshine and rain. Yeah, we are. Uh, there's a lot of stuff you guys are talking about that I'm not. Anyway, yeah, it's hard to follow that and to stay on track with what I'm trying to get to. And I think you guys are kind of understand what I'm saying. Is we have to not be at war with each other. The voting republic needs to stop being at war with each other. Period. We're not the enemy anymore. We're not. You're not the enemy. I'm not the enemy. The enemy is becoming the people that are marching, whoring, okay, that have become the whores, okay, for the two-party oligarchy. Those are the ones that are becoming the enemies. Those are the ones that are becoming, they're the ones that are creating all this, that are allowing all this. The fear, the hatred, the poverty that ticks people off, the lack of health care that lets people without needing certain medications or certain treatments or therapies or counseling, you know, they, there's so many things out there that they know how their executive decisions, their judicial decisions, their legislative decisions, they know how it's going to affect you. They know what the end result is. They're not fucking stupid. They've done all the research. They've got gurus. It's marketing. Marketing. And they're fucking good at it. And it's impressive. I'm going to say, being a man that knows sales and marketing and the ABCs, which I can't, Eben reminded me of that. But, when it comes down to it, I'm going to fucking grind and get the sale. They have a lot of scripts out there. There's a lot of good scripts, and they're reading them. When Jill Stein was on, the interview yesterday or earlier or whatever, and they fucking tried so hard to pin her, and they just kept labeling her. They kept throwing accusations and laid claims at her. They were trying to fly a bunch. It's just marketing, man. They're throwing everything at her, trying to put all these words in front of people from the camera, in between the camera and Jill Stein. Imagine a bunch of labels just flying out around her now. Don't you feel guilty? Don't you feel responsible? Don't you think you should have known? Should you known? You see what I'm saying? And this is how they brand people. God, it's just, they're so fucking good at it. It is a fucking science, I'm telling you. And you've got to watch out for that. Don't buy into it. Let's not be angry with each other anymore. We need health care. Fuck yeah. Who should pay for it? The rich. Okay, we need better infrastructure. Who should pay for it? The MIC, military industrial complex. We need better voting. Who should pay for that? Not the corporations. Because they're, get rid of, I've said it. Overturn Citizens United. The list goes on and 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 on. But we can't be angry at each other. You guys, don't be mad. Don't be angry. It's not the reason why you're angry, the reason why you're upset, the reason why you feel fear, because they want you to. It's because they fucking know they're doing it to you. And it's brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. It's beyond a chess game. It's beyond, it's just fucking amazing how they got people so wrapped up. And I just watch it. I just notice it. I'm just going, God, it's so easy. And they go after the Bible Belt people first. Those people are fucking like low hanging fruit. Lowest hanging fruit out there. Sorry, you are. Sorry. If you can believe in a man that fucking sits in the sky and fucking controls everything and allows this kind of shit to happen, then yes, you are low fucking hanging fruit. If you were somewhat conscious about how you got here and you wanted to appreciate that, say a little prayer or give thanks to all the hundreds of thousands or millions of fucking people that fought, that lived, that survived before you, that had sex to get you where you're at now. Say a little something for those people, your ancestors, right? If you guys should be fucking praising anybody, you should be praising your fucking ancestors for giving you what you are. Life here. Anyway. So yeah, just don't be susceptible to all of that. Let me see. I see through it. I've watched Stein in many interviews, and it always is the same. Gardner, we are basically discussing the same topic, James. Yes, we are. We are. We're. Garden, you're a smart cat. You guys, all of you guys that come on here are just super smart. And I'm not even close to your intellect. I just kind of get by with, just whatever brain cells I still have left. I'm just saying the 80s and the 90s were pretty fucking hardcore. But I do know this. After being in marketing and sales pretty much all my life and watching some big firms do some pretty amazing things and studying it and going to seminars and I have people that I know uh, directly that know people in Facebook. I know people that directly know people in Twitter. I know people that directly know people with lots of different ad companies out there that you guys never heard about, but they're everywhere and they're good at what they do. They know how to manipulate, control, and it's been happening in this country for a long time. That's why we buy a lot of shit. That's why I got so much junk in my fucking room. No, it's not that bad. I'm not a hoarder or anything, but I am looking at a lot of things saying, well, I could not use a few things in there. But I just bought a new speaker for my computer. I got a nice set here. I don't know if it's going to be okay. It looks pretty good. It's kind of small. My other one's is about the same, but it thumps. I'm just having a problem with the volume. It's a pretty nice little system for cheap, but it works. This one's still working. It's starting having problems. I'm going to get rid of it. But it's something that I need because this one's starting to do some weird things in regards to what we have in our world right now. And I have to get my message out. Okay, they used to do it every time we saw. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. You guys are fucking amazing. All right, so does Evan still have a show? Evan, obviously you don't have a show on. All right. I said I was going to do a monologue only, but such a fucking... I got shit to do, man. No. God damn it. I can't. I really have stuff to do. I am super sorry. All right, guys, but please understand, don't be mad at each other. The real enemy is our legislators, our judiciaries, and our executives. Sorry. Those are the people that are allowing this marketing to continue. These are the people who are allowing these sales to continue. These are the people that are allowing us to buy things we don't fucking need. If I had a village and a decent woman, right? I would have my dragon Kwandao. I'd have to protect, just to have, because that's a bitchin' fucking sword. I used to just toss that thing around. I sold it at a garage sale. Fuck. But the thing is I wouldn't have a gun. I wouldn't have a gun. Now, if I was living back in Western days, everybody had to have a gun. That was just, if you didn't, you were fucked. But I don't want it to get back to that. We don't need it to get back to that. I don't want to have to walk into some place and there's fucking guns. It's just not good. There's too many opioids. Back then they had peyote. Maybe somebody kind of invented marijuana or found it, and they had alcohol, but they didn't have fucking heroin. They didn't have methamphetamines. They didn't have fucking opioids. They didn't have the hallucinogenic drugs that they have now. So having people walking around with fucking guns that have access to opioids is not a fucking good idea in a Walmart. I don't care what you think. I don't, because that's just stupid. We don't need it. The culture, we don't need anymore. You know, let's get to Star Trek. Get to Star Trek culture. That's our goal. Get to Star Trek. You know. Anyway. All right, so listen, I've got stuff I got to do, guys. I'm super sorry, but that'll be it for. I don't know if Evan's going to continue to do his show, but I just wanted to get my main point out there. Oops, darn it! Oh, darn it! Darn it! Did I just? I just closed it. Okay. But again, my main point is stop letting them sell you on fear. They've been doing it for a long time. Um, Try not to, and I know it's hard. It's extremely hard for them not for that not to get to you sometimes. And yes, some of our rights are being taken away. We don't need any more because they keep chewing away at that already, which is bad. But we do need the right people in office that won't use that marketing firm anymore. If you know what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. So we do need some new people in. And if we don't start doing it, then hell, like I said, I'll fucking spearhead it and lead the way. You know, but until then, we have to try to get a third party in there. That's our only hope, and that's why I went green. Anyway, I hope you guys kind of got the reason why I had this. I just wanted to get that out. Stop being sold. Stop being bought. Stop being manipulated. Stop being controlled. You know, you flat earthers, somebody needs to go bang yourself. No, not bang yourself. Go bang your head. Maybe you need to do that. Go bang your head up against the wall a few times, right? And then I want you to rethink that flat earth thing. God, I can't believe that. Fucking even still. Ugh. Anyway, aloha. Thank you guys all for coming tonight. Have a wonderful evening. I hope you guys have a good time. I'm sorry I got to get going. I can't even say all the shit I got to do. I just got tons of stuff I got to do. Aloha. Bye-bye.